Buenos dias to all my thousands of followers from Sydney to Singapore, Havana to Hong Kong, Antananarivo to Antwerp. That worked out quite well, didn't it? Antananarivo to Antwerp. Antananarivo is in Madagascar, by the way, if you didn't know that. Hello to you all. I'm going to do another experimental abstract using bubble wrap, as I did with my last piece, which I can't show you here because it's too big. It's over a meter and something by 700 centimeters. No, sorry, that'll be 70 centimeters by something. But that I think it was quite a success. So I'm loving this sort of leaving the control or relinquishing some of the control, in this case to bubble wrap, but it could be quite a few other mediums. Anyway, after the last one, which I showed the making of in the last video, and you can see the finished article on my Facebook and Instagram pages. Just look for Fred Hatban artist, hashtag or at whatever. I thought I'd take a bit of a break. Well, I'd run out of canvases. Well, that lasted one day, and I started to get withdrawal symptoms. So I plodded over to the old hardware store and managed to get some smaller, a couple of smaller canvases. I think they're about 70 by 50. And I've got one here which I primed last night. They've already been primed allegedly by the manufacturers 3 times with gesso, but I always like to put it. I wanted a background, so I mixed my white gesso with I thought a little bit of black. I wanted to get a very light silvery grey. Came up a bit darker, but that's okay. I can work with that. Most of it's going to be covered by the paint that the bubble wrap leaves on the canvas, and I'm going to swish around with the brush and do a whole lot of other things involving earbuds, toothpicks, I don't know, afterwards. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I think you can see in the distance, here's my canvas with the gesso primer mixed with black copper grey. Also bought a whole lot of bubble wrap, and I'm going to do this without the help of my collaborator from the last artwork, Leonard, who's actually got who's a working man who's actually got a job to do, so he's out doing that. So I should be able to manage with the smaller pieces of bubble wrap, turning them over. Well, I hope so, but it'll be fun anyway, whatever happens. I've selected some colours here. I hope not too many. And I don't want to overthink this and think back to what went right and what went wrong with the last one I did. Clear my mind of all that clutter and just start afresh. What I am going to do is, once I've applied the paint from the bubble wrap to the canvas and swept the brush through it a few times to sort of make shapes, I've cut another couple of pieces of bubble wrap there, because on the last piece, after I'd done the video, I woke up the next morning and discovered that the bubble wrap with the paint I'd used, the paint was still quite wet, and I'd folded it up, and I pulled it straight and just kind of like pushed it onto what I had done the night before or the day before, and it left a very interesting effect. So I'm gonna have a go at doing that with some bubble wrap without paint on. See what happens there. Anyway, let's get cracking because this is going to take too long. I'm going to be dragging vertically both ways, so I don't know how that's going to work, but anyway, it might work. That's burnt umber, just for the record. I won't put the burnt sienna on just yet. I'll put a bit of yellow ochre. On first, then a bit of burnt sienna. But what I'll do is I'll come down like that and like that. And then emerald green, by the way. I'm just going to go straight down here, sort of. Ultramarine blue. Something like this. Just put a plop of it there, and a plop of it there. I love my blue. And a bit of red. I'm going to put dollops in different places of the red. Spread the red around a bit. Spread the love. Okay, I think that's all the colours. I will mix up with a bit of white. Drops. I think that'll do. Now I used a little bit too much black on the last piece I did. I'm just going to very judiciously plop Bit of black there, bit of black there, bit of black there. Not too much. Put it away before I feel tempted to go too big on that. Right, I think I can do this. Probably better if I do it this way. Turn it over. Do the same here. Oh, I think I'll just sit and ruminate on this for a few seconds. Just remember to spray a bit of water before I do the brushwork, just to get more movement. Thirsty work, and I'm getting hot. Although it's pretty nippy, we got up this morning. Winter's returned for a bit, such as it is down here in South Africa. Okay, what I want to do, flatten this out a bit. Drag it back and forth a bit. Oh, dust gets stuck rather quickly. Let's do this one as well. Come back a bit this way. I need to drag vertically. Maybe I could do with somebody to hold the canvas in place, because you see, well, that's what I'm getting. It's a bit horizontal at the moment, and I want to go send the motion of the paint, if you like, or direction of the paint more vertically. Ah, interesting. Interesting. I love it. Child's play. I feel like a 12-year-old when I'm doing this. Which is probably not far off the mark. Okay. I'll bring you vertically now. A bit tricky to get to this side. See, I've got paint all over plastic sheet that I rather wisely put down, otherwise it would be on the bedspread in my guest bedroom. As I mentioned before, this is meant to be my guest bedroom, but it's become part of my studio, if I can call it a studio. Interesting. But I need to get... Oh, lovely. I need to get... I'm just going to do that for the moment. Just make this up as I go along. I need to get paint in the middle, otherwise it's going to look like a painting of two halves. My dad's favourite song, Autumn Leaves. My old McNoon. This is a very special song to him, for him. I think it had something to do with definitely had to do with love. The love he felt for a woman who I think left him before he met my mum. There's a whole story behind that, but I won't bore you with my family dramas. Not that there were that many. Pretty sheltered life growing up in Pietermaritzburg in the 60s, 70s, giving away my age here. I think that's alright for now. I can work with that. I'm just going to do that. Put that there. Yeah. Not quite sure. Oh well. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see that, but this is what we've got after applying the paint off the bubble wrap. So now I'm going to take a brush and just brush through it. One of my bigger brushes, or biggest brush. Somehow I ended up with not as much paint on this one as the last one. Oh, I was going to spray water. Forgot about that. Let's do that now, just a little bit. Always say a little bit and then put more on. This should spread the paint more easily. I'm having to borrow the paint just to fill up this middle bit which doesn't get completely covered. Interesting. Don't know. Look what I might do. I'm just doing this on the hoof, of course. I think what I might do is just add a bit of paint. Hang on a second. Going to add some lemon yellow here. I think it needs brightening up. And of course, I can never resist red. So a bit of crimson red. There I've added more colours than I had planned to do, but what did John Lennon say? Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, so you can plan this as much as you like. And this is the whole point of it. It takes on a life of its own. Reminds me that I mustn't try to control it too much. That's interesting. Huh. Squeeze of water. After being very reluctant to use water in my painting, I'm now more confident about it. Yeah, this is more like it. Okay, last brush through, I think. Okay. That's what we've got. I think it needs a little blue. A little green. And some white. So I've ended up adding quite a lot more to what I had in mind. Now I mustn't overwork this, I think. You know what? Satisfied for now. I'm going to let this dry. And then take it from there. Thanks for joining me. I'll report back in the next video. Ta-ra, ciao.